Well, good morning. Thanks for joining Jonathan and Julie D in the morning. Good morning, Julie.
Grand Rising, Jonathan. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's a beautiful sunny day here. It's supposed to be about a high 65, so
Nice.
too bad for Kingman, Arizona.
Yeah, it's been nice here in Kansas City still. It was yesterday was a little chilly, but then today it seems like it's warmer. So I think we might even see a 47 or 48 degree temperature. So a little
Well,
warmer.
we managed to drop down to about 32 last night, so
Mm,
actually had a little frost on the car, and that's about it.
yeah.
So, well, I'll tell you what, just watching all the crap going on around the country right now, Julie, can't believe the stuff I'm seeing. Like out in Idaho right now, you got the transsexual people that's going to go up against the Supreme Court right now on the ruling just for them to be able to play in women's sports. It's like what the hell, you know?
So wait a minute. So there's a group of people that are saying that they want to have men playing in women's sports and pushing back against the ruling that no, we don't do that.
Yep,
Wow. In Idaho, of all places.
right out in Idaho.
Well, you big hoe.
But the point is, you see that kind of stuff. You know, I mean, growing up, we never had women playing on football teams or anything else,
Right.
in men's sports or
Hmm.
vice versa.
Right.
And where these liberals think it's okay these days, God only knows. I
Yeah.
mean, it's quite obvious most men are very much more stronger, bigger bone structure, the whole 9 yards,
Absolutely.
and that's the way people get hurt. Um,
Yep. Completely. Yep. It's
that
almost
it's
like they're
bad.
trying to hurt women on purpose, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, it's bad enough with all the sports injuries that we already have, let alone having men going up against women because they want to classify themselves as a female.
Hmm.
It's pretty sad. Let's see. I've got a couple of broadcasts I want to share this morning as well. Oh, the first one I want to share. Yeah, you know how we got all these protesters out there doing all this garbage. Now,
Yes.
now how about the churches now training people how to protest against ISIS?
Oh, no.
You got it. And so I'm going to share a little clip from the churches that are actually. Oops, sorry about that. I'm going to share a little bit on the churches. Let's see if they're trying to pull this crap.
Your volume's going in and out on your microphone. So when you come back,
All right, is that better?
there we go. That's much better. Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Well, so I want to share this with the church and what they're pulling. Oops, wrong one.
Oh, and then that guy. Don't get me started with that guy.
Yeah. Let's not get going on this guy. We'll get going on him soon enough. But right here, I think that's the one. Nope, the other one.
I seriously have to do breathing exercises to bring my blood pressure down after going through the news
Well,
that
well, this
people are being lied about. So
this
crazy.
might help increase your blood pressure for you,
That's
Joey.
what I mean.
So
I don't
this is
want
a
that help, but it's okay.
this is a church out in Charlotte, North Carolina. Is literally hosting a class teaching them elderly members how to blow whistles and film ice agents the during their
Oh, they've set the stage. They're enacting something, right?
oh yeah,
The
they're teaching them how to do it.
oh my God.
Now here we go. We're gonna play this.
Has already started, as we said. People have been doing the same thing. This was an event at a church there on Monday night. People acted out immigration detainments, and the rest of the room practiced filming them and making noise to call attention to them. has already started, as we said.
So that right there, just seeing that right there, Sean Hannity broadcast that on Fox News, and but now to see your churches are actually teaching people how to protest, and go out and blow the whistles and how to film and everything else. It's like, what next? Um, and furthermore, why would a church be okay with having killers and thugs in our country that's poisoning our people, murdering, raping our women and children?
Raping. Hello, thank you. Yeah, they're protecting these pedophiles. They're protecting these monsters that have been let into our country, and there's no two ways about it, right? I mean,
Yeah,
but they
and
can't see that. They for some reason they just cannot get to that level of mentality to put those two together. That if people came over here illegally, that constitutes being able to be picked up because that is a crime.
yeah. But like I said, just seeing that now your churches are getting involved in these riots. They're teaching their people, their elders, they're teaching them how to riot themselves, how to get out there and blow the whistles, scream out ice, everything in the book. I am just blown away by this. I mean, this is a church doing this. Come on.
Well, then we're going to see some more grandma and grandpa in jail, I would imagine.
Yep. So, well, they got to get past nappy time first. So, I mean, I mean, it's hard to say, how many's really going to show up, but they're training them. So,
Yeah.
uh, and so
Wow.
yeah, that's what
I don't know, man. That doesn't seem like a church to me.
no, that's far from being a church.
Yeah, that
Um,
seems like a little militia action going on
yeah,
there.
and so our good old mayor out there in Tampon Tim's part of the country,
Oh,
he's
Minneapolis, I think, or
Minneapolis. Yep, he
yeah.
has now launched a lawsuit against the Department of Homeland Security. So,
Saying what? That they can't come in, that ICE can't come in and pick people up? Is that what he's claiming?
yep. Well, here we go. We're going to play this, just a little clip of it. Oh,
Wow.
And so the response that we are asking for from the judicial system and from the courts requires that we file suit at this particular moment. What we are seeing right now is not normal immigration enforcement. We are not asking ICE not to do ICE things. We are asking this federal government to stop the unconstitutional conduct that is invading our streets each and every day. You've seen the videos. At times, there are as many as 50 agents arresting one person. The scale is wildly disproportionate and has nothing to do with keeping people safe. In Minneapolis, we've done work extensively with the federal government under multiple administrations to keep people in our city safe. We have worked with the DEA, the ATF, the FBI.
well, wait a second. Wait a second. Help me understand this. Under multiple administrations, he's worked with them. There was nothing to work with under the Biden administration. It was
Right.
flat out wide open borders. Everybody
Exactly.
welcome. So,
Right.
so what you talking about? They've worked with everybody.
No. Talking
Wow.
about lies,
The
lies.
Attorney General's office, as well as the U.S. Attorney's office, to successfully drive down crime in our city. We've seen the results of that work, but let's be clear. The stated reason of this federal government for bringing in this full invasion of ICE and border control is not safety. These are not normal times.
It's
And
not
so
safety. So you got to love this. That's enough of that puke.
Snake.
You know, here's the thing. They're talking about safety and everything else, and then he's questioning why it takes 50 border patrol agents. Well, when you've got 1,000 rioters that they've got to watch one another's backs at all time.
Exactly. Yeah, you have
Because
to have a large group in order to
e-
accomplish the mission. Come on.
exactly, I mean, these guys got
Safely.
ice bottles being thrown at them. Some of the border patrol agents have been hit upside the head
Mm.
from solid ice bottles, and
Yep.
those things can actually cause a lot of severe damage.
Oh yeah, massive concussions, traumatic brain injuries. Absolutely. Yep. Yep.
But yet he acts like it doesn't take 50 ice agents. It's like bullshit. You
Yeah, it
know,
does. It
I,
actually does.
I like to see at least 100 per arrest.
Right?
To definitely surround the area to not let these thugs anywhere near them as they're detaining them, because those ice agents' lives are in harm's way every
Right.
day.
Every
So
day. Yep.
so again, for that mayor to act like this is a complete invasion. No, what was a complete invasion was the Biden administration's open borders. That was the complete invasion. Um,
Completely agreed.
and
Yes,
and
indeed.
all this is men doing what's on the books and in our Constitution and getting these illegals the hell out of our country. Um,
Yep.
Point blank and clear. No other explanation behind it.
Right.
Uh, so let's see. And I had another thing I was going to share. Let's see. Is this the one? Oh, okay. So this is what they were doing in the House committee this morning. They've been talking a lot. Um,
Yeah. What exactly are they distracting us from during this whole ICE
yeah.
thing?
So here we go. This is what a little bit of what's being said.
I recognize the Majority Whip.
I'm going to ask unanimous consent that the quorum call be vitiated.
Without objection.
Mr. President, when government wastes taxpayer money, taxpayers have a right to know what happened. And when emboldened criminals steal money intended to help single moms and children in need, taxpayers have a right to be angry. And Americans, and I'm hearing it in Wyoming, and I'm sure you're hearing it, Mr. President, in your home state of Ohio, Americans are infuriated with the staggering amount of fraud unfolding today in the state of Minnesota. The past few weeks have shown just how deep the corruption in Minnesota has turned out to be. Investigators have now uncovered fraud schemes across 14 different Minnesota Medicaid programs. Most people don't even know there are 14 different Medicaid programs. There's fraud in all of them in Minnesota. Joe Thompson, who's U.S. Attorney in Minnesota, has spent his career prosecuting fraud. And based on his extensive investigation, he believes criminals have now stolen at least $9 billion with a B dollars from those Minnesota Medicaid programs. That is half of the total amount of money Minnesota spends for Medicaid.
So now you got to keep in mind that's just Minnesota, folks.
That's just
Yeah,
one state.
because right now they're saying that California they expect to be 3 to 4 times more. So
Yep.
if it's 9 billion in Minnesota, what would that make it? 36 billion out of
36.
California.
Yep.
If,
True.
if
Yep.
that's if that's the
Billion.
actual numbers.
Yep.
But again, so what we're seeing out there right now with Minnesota, I think we're basically seeing a complete shit show. They're trying to do a major distraction because they know right now that the heat is on them over all this fraud. So right now, I think that's part of why they're really encouraging these riots and everything else. They're
Mhm.
trying to totally distract everybody over to that, hoping that this other just goes away.
Right.
Um, and you know what? I don't believe it's going to go away.
No, I
So
don't either. Yep.
too many American people now have seen the fraud. They know it's there,
Right.
and if they were to just let this one go, I think you'd see an uprising
Right.
because the American people are tired. I'm tired of
Very
it,
tired. Very tired. Exactly.
and just the amount of corruption that they're doing still right now in Minnesota.
Yep.
Waltz just got done announcing. Sounds like he's done this week.
Yay.
So he's really, well, right now, Waltz is about ready to be indicted, they're saying, and he knows
Yeah,
it.
it should be.
And I wouldn't be surprised if the man tries to flee. Um, that, that's
Yeah.
that's my assumption.
Mm-hmm.
And God knows I could be wrong. That I got a feeling
Yeah.
he's trying to resign and get the hell out of Dodge.
Right.
So
Yep.
because originally it was going to be he's going to resign this year, and then it went down to 30 days, and now it's all of a sudden
This
this week.
week. Right.
So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's like, do we hear today?
He's not gonna get very far if he does flee.
No, and I was talking to a good friend out there in Minnesota, and Dave, and Dave was telling me yesterday that just the Minnesota that he has been in for a lot of years was a beautiful state, good people, and he said, "What the hell happened to my state?" You know,
Mm-hmm.
he goes, "Where did all this corruption come into play in Minnesota?" Um,
Mm-hmm.
there used to be a lot of patriots even in Minnesota,
Mm-hmm.
and,
They're
and
probably
it's just
still there, but just
yeah.
being pushed aside.
But kind of like he said, it's just not the state that he's lived in for all these years, and that's
Right.
it's a pretty sad day when you talk to friends that's been out there for a lot of years. And but Dave is rooting for incarcerations. He wants mass arrests,
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
and I
Yes.
hope he gets it. I
Yep.
hope the American people get it.
We
And the
deserve it.
same, and then the same thing with California. I want to see Newsom hung. You know, I want to see them go after him and put an end to the corruption.
Yep.
And the same thing with our Arizona governor, Cartel Hobbs. You know, because
Right.
there's a lot of fraud going on in Arizona and a lot of BS, and there's some things that's getting ready to come out, and so it's going to be exposing a lot even on
Mm-hmm.
Arizona.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to exposing it and getting the truth out.
Yep.
So how about out there in Kansas, Julie? Right now, has a bunch of child care centers been found that's been operating illegally?
Well, I found there was a Somali run fraud that had a daycare that had two daycares with different names set at the same address, and that they were found fraudulent and shut down, I think last year, actually.
Okay,
So they're no longer in existence from what my research has done. Maybe there's something there I didn't see, but yeah, in the Kansas City metro area, we found where one is already shut down, but they had the same address for two different daycares.
right. Well,
Lots of infractions.
and then it brings the question: Are they still receiving funding?
Exactly. That I do not know.
Just because it's shut down doesn't mean they're not receiving funding.
Exactly. Yep. So,
Minnesota, and then Minnesota swearing up and down all those ones that Nick Shirley reported on. Those are operational, and people have gone back to those child care centers, and they're still vacant. But
yeah.
according to the state of Minnesota, their auditors that they want people to believe that they are occupied. So it's
Well,
just
and then in addition to this, you've also got these governors that are refusing to give over SNAP benefit numbers
yep.
and information, and the state of Kansas is one of them. And so, yeah, you've got to really question when people don't give numbers that we, the people, have already given, and it's pretty much public record anyway. What is the deal? What are they hiding? Always, what are they hiding?
Well, they got tons to hide. My
Yeah, they
understanding.
got plenty. Boy, Department of Labor, I think the Department of Labor for the state of Kansas, in addition to the SNAP benefits, oh yeah, tip of the iceberg. It's a hot mess. It's a huge mess.
Well, like I said yesterday in our broadcast, for all of you guys out there that might be unemployed right now, there's plenty of job openings coming up in a city near you soon. Just just give ICE a couple of days, and there'll be probably several hundred openings in your town.
Right.
So hopefully that'll help get people back to work.
So where are we with comprehending if there's been an activation of the guard units to be ready to within the 30-day time frame to be deployed for city rioting? I know that President Trump had instructed Hegseth to get the troops ready by a certain date, but I'm not sure what the date was.
You know, I haven't heard anything really on it, to be honest, Julie. But what I did happen to see is Tampon Tim did activate his National Guard.
Mm,
So that came out in, actually, I think I have the report here. Um,
I don't know that he again, I'm not sure that he has the authority to do that at this point.
well, you wouldn't think so. Um, but it came out that supposedly he had his National Guard activated and they're on standby right now.
Mm,
So
interesting.
here, I'm going to find the article for everybody. Let's see. Let's see. I just had it this morning, and I thought I had it to share, but evidently not. Tim Waltz activates National Guard. Yep, right here. Tim Waltz deploys National Guard.
Who's reporting that?
Minneapolis searching out this camera for a live look over that city this morning. Governor Tim Walz now authorizing the Minnesota National Guard to be ready and support both local and state law enforcement. The governor says troops will be involved with protecting property, public safety, also safeguarding critical infrastructure. This happens when, and this is the focus, when these riots sometimes get out of control. Now, protests have been ramping up after these ICE agents, the one fatally shot the woman on Wednesday in Minneapolis. Federal officials say she tried to run over that federal agent with her car before she was shot. Vice President J.D. Vance spoke out about this. He was very pointed in his conversations yesterday. Listen. I'm not happy that this woman lost her life. I'm not happy that this woman was there at a protest violating the law by interfering with a law enforcement action. I think that we can all recognize that the best way to turn down the temperature is to tell people to take their concerns about immigration policy to the ballot box. Stop assaulting and stop inciting violence against our law enforcement officers. That's the best way to take down the temperature. Governor Wallace says the National Guard remains ready to go in the event they're needed. We'll track it all for you this morning here at the live desk.
So that's what they're saying. He's got the National Guard ready to roll. So my question is he going to be stupid enough, Julie, to actually deploy him?
Well, if that's the case, then Insurrection Act, here we come.
Exactly. Because with him resigning and saying he's resigning, why would he
Right.
deploy?
Exactly. That's why I say I don't know that there's any legal action that he can take at this point. Um, because he's just a damn joke.
Yep.
When you've got normies calling him Tampon Tim, you know that you're getting we're over the target.
Bullseye. But no, I think we're going to start seeing that in like Minnesota. I think we're going to see it in California. I think when good old Newsom starts feeling the heat coming down on him, I wouldn't put anything past Newsom either.
Oh, no.
You know,
Well, and I'm waiting to for people to learn that Newsom is actually Nancy Pelosi's nephew. If y'all didn't know that, there's a family tie, and that I believe the dude we picked up from Venezuela is going to give us some information about those Venezuelan ballot boxes that have been used all over the world and have been used here in the United States, especially in, wait for it, dun dun dun, California.
Yep.
So I believe we're going to learn that most of these folks that have been in power within their states have been doing so illegally for a very long time.
Yeah.
And if that ain't going to hack people off and be ready to be up in arms, you know, they're not going to be able to walk the streets, I don't think. So,
Well, evidently, good old Waltz, he has some of his own people now becoming kind of like whistleblowers, and they're saying that he knew about all this corruption.
oh, he's known about it from day bloody one. They
So,
yes, that's been coming out in the reporting of it.
so
Yeah, and the whistleblower blowers have been fearful for their positions and their lives because of the way that he's just pushed it aside. So yeah,
well, and I agree with you, Julie, but on the other hand, I'm looking at a different side of it. These whistleblowers are probably becoming whistleblowers because they have been part of this corruption.
right.
You know, I mean, you got a corrupt governor. Why wouldn't you have just resigned, hung him, you know, and started new again? You know,
I don't
I
think
think,
I follow. What do you mean?
in other words, they knew, they're just as much guilty as what I'm saying.
The
But
whistleblowers?
yeah, I believe a lot of them are. I believe
Yeah,
they're
but
finding they're
yeah, but if
crying wolf.
they can't, if,
He did it. He did it, and I think we're going to see a lot of this now, especially out in California. I mean, how many people's going to be sitting there coming clean and going, "We knew all about Newsom and this and this and this." All these people that's been supposedly his buddy. Because trust me, a lot of these people supposedly love Waltz that work with him, and these same people
well, but
supposedly
what
love
I'm
Waltz
talking
will turn him
about,
out.
yeah, well, that, yeah, I can see what you mean by that.
Yeah.
However, there's also a documented proof of the current whistleblowers that they reported this shit 7, 8 years ago.
Well,
Okay.
those ones, yeah. No, I agree.
So,
Those ones, yeah. Yeah.
those are the ones that I'm saying have been fearful for their positions and their lives. And so, yeah. But of course, anybody can say anything after the fact,
Yeah.
right? If they think it's going to potentially give them a free pass or a lighter sentence or whatever. Oh yeah, 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 we knew about it, but we didn't do anything about it,
I
right?
guess our good old buddy Nick Shirley, boy, he's getting a lot of death threats now. And several podcasters out there. There's another podcaster that was attacked the other day. I mean, they totally destroyed his vehicle.
Yes, I saw
Um,
that.
and and he just ended up gunning it, throwing somebody off the hood of his car, the whole nine
Mhm.
yards. But I guess they were smashing out his car, spray painting
Mhm.
his new rig, everything in the book,
Yeah.
and and he called the law enforcement, and nobody in law enforcement would show up to help. So, in other words, if you
Horrible.
guys are out there doing podcasting, you're on your own, guys. You better
Yeah.
hope you got a good security team with you, or
Yep.
whatever,
Yep.
because if you dial 911, it's come to show. There's Mike
Right.
Grant. It's
Wow.
Good morning, Your News, Arizona. We're live on the air. How you doing? I got you on speaker.
I got some news for you.
Okay, you want me to?
Then you can hang. I'll hang up and you can announce it.
Okay, so you want me to take you off speaker?
Yes, please.
Uh,
I don't need any haters at my front door.
Okay, hold on a second. All right, go ahead. Correct. Right. Right. All right. Right. Well, well. All right. That's good news, buddy. All right. All right. You bet. Bye. So a little bird dropped in my ear. um, hold on a second. There we go. All right. So, anyways, a little bird just dropped in my ear. If these protesters out there in Minnesota keep hunting down our ICE agents and following them to the hotels and stuff, they're actually just going to be putting them on the base out there, and because military personnel have been getting their vehicles severely vandalized as well. Um,
God,
and then they got a whole different recourse they can take against them if they try to attack the base. So,
right. Good
which,
point.
which would
Right.
be probably a full scale firefight. um, so, in other words,
Where's the
they're just
base?
done.
Where's the base? Is it a guard base? Is it in Minneapolis? What,
Um,
you know?
I'll get all that intel from him a little bit later, but
Okay.
he's got some very very reliable sources, especially being federal firearms dealer. He gets all that good stuff.
Hmm.
Um, but that's good news because
Absolutely.
right now, these guys have been being doxxed. They're threatening even our ICE agents' families. Even their children. They're threatening now.
This is
Um,
so sick. This is so
and
horrible.
yep, and what kind of a person does that with somebody's child? Um, let alone
Mentally deranged
yep.
person. That's who.
But anyways, it sounds like they finally have had enough. They're just going to go ahead and start staying on bases, and
Yeah.
if they want to try to fall them back to the base and create a problem, there's going to be a major problem for them.
Yeah.
And I guarantee most of your military guys ain't going to tolerate them trying to
No.
come at the base.
No.
That's going to be a whole different outcome for these
Yeah.
guys.
Right.
But again, with Waltz deploying his National Guard, getting them ready, it's like makes me have to really question: are any of those guys going to follow Waltz's orders?
Oh, exactly.
So,
Again, I don't believe because of his situation and his tentative position and the fact that everybody knows he's being looked into for fraud, I'm pretty sure that's going to keep him from having any authority to be able to activate anybody for real.
oh yeah, I mean, how anybody can support that thug, anyways, I'll never
Yeah,
understand.
no,
As
no,
far as I'm concerned, they can do a public hanging and wouldn't hurt my feelings.
right, right.
Not that I'm promoting violence. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying, charge
Well,
them
it's
for
called
treason.
justice. It's called
Yep,
justice.
yep. And but back in the old day, it was an eye for an eye. They just string you up in a tree.
Well, and full constitutional law is not contract law, and thus it will go back to an eye for an eye. You
Yep,
kill somebody else, your life will be taken as well.
yep, yep.
People will actually have to think before they pass,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
you know, do stupid crap. So,
Well, back in the old day, they just hang you for stealing a horse, let alone anything else. Uh,
right.
so,
Well, horse was an automobile back then and still is to a degree,
yeah.
right? Transportation. It's a
So,
person's transportation.
well, we're not talking a horse, but we're talking about $9 billion,
Mhm. Yep.
which would
That
probably
we
buy.
found so far, just what we found so far, right?
Yeah, that's what they found,
Mhm.
and I'm sure there's going to be probably another billion, 2 billion coming up that they're going to find.
Yep.
Um, and I think we're going to start finding this to be a chain reaction throughout a lot of states. I think they're going to start uncovering it because
Mhm.
I believe all the Democrat blue states, I would not be surprised if they were all in on this together,
That's
all
what
across the
that's
board.
what it's looking like, and the reason
Yep,
I say it's looking like that is because when they there's ties of when people would go donate to through Soros, it winds up in the Democratic National Convention area
yep,
or something. So it it all ties together, and it's the fiduciary um, line that we're following, and yeah, it's not good. And at the same time, I will say this: there's also a lot of Republican lines that have been on the take as well. So it's everywhere. It's both sides of both parties completely.
Well, that's what I was also going to say today. It makes me wonder how many Republicans have their hand in the same pot as well.
Especially since they're not handing over the information and or not moving forward with deep
Right?
diving, right? We don't know how much they've been covering up either. So yeah, it's a mess.
Well,
It's
and
a hot
yep,
mess.
yep, I truly believe that. I mean, and I think that's a lot of the reasons why we have not seen a lot of the rest that we are wanting to see. I believe because the Democrats have stuff on the Republicans as well, that's
Hmm.
involved in all
Right,
this corruption and crap. And
right.
that's why everything just keeps getting delayed and delayed.
Hmm. Hmm.
And, and it still brings question to, is anything ever even really going to come out of all this? Because if it doesn't, Julie, that's where I truly believe we're going to see a shitstorm on the rising. Um,
Yes,
because
agreed.
American people, again, they have seen enough now.
Yep.
All the evidence is laid out there. And if we don't see arrest, I see a whole different ballpark for this country.
Absolutely. We're already seeing people going up to insurance companies that folks that have worked with the insurance companies, the big CEOs and whatnot, and accusing them of, you killed my grandmother and this and that, and your policy kept me from seeing grandma or whatever.
Yep.
People are getting angry on so many different levels. The fraud is just one of them.
Oh, yeah. And I
they've had
agree. I
it.
mean,
They've had
and
it.
back through the COVID pandemic,
Yes,
um, look
we
at how many family
remember.
members, look at how many family members were not allowed to see their family as they're taking their last breath.
Yep,
Where hospitals restricted them from being able to be in there.
yep,
And this happened in several different states that I know
absolutely.
of. And, it just comes down to showing everybody, that it's so easily to manipulate the American people. I mean,
Oh,
look,
totally.
I mean, I can tell you right now, Julie, when this first came out in the pandemic, we'll call it, um,
Yes, I call
when it
it that too. Yep,
when it
yep,
when
yep.
it first came out, I even seen a lot of patriots sealing up their windows, trying to make their places airtight. People freaking
Mm-hmm.
out. It's like,
Yep,
oh my god,
yep, yep,
and it's just like so they manipulated a lot of pa- patriots as well. It wasn't just
yep.
Democrats. And and I know some people are going to be going out there, oh bullshit, I didn't do that. Well, if you didn't do that, more power to you, because I
Right.
didn't do it either. Um, but the point is, I do know people that did it, and they are
Yep,
patriots. And I'm not going to mention names. I wouldn't call them out on it,
yep.
at least by name, but they know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But so many people were so easily convinced into believing it that it's kind of scary to know that the government can so easily trick people that become a bunch of sheep and follow the herd.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to call
Yep.
it what it is,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yes.
that's what they did. They had a lot of good people following the herd to the slaughterhouse,
Yep,
and
completely. And it was the hospitals that became the slaughterhouses.
well, it was
And
hospitals, nursing homes.
yep, there's a movie called vaxedthemovie.com. And right now it's not allowing me to open it for some strange reason. It's telling me
What's it
it's not
called?
secure. It's called Vaxed the Movie, VAXXED, themovie.com.
Well,
And
let's see if we can get a trader on it
yeah,
here.
see if you can
Let me see if
find
I
something.
VAXXED, right?
VAXXED. Yes, it's Del Bigtree.
Okay.
And there's a Vax 2, and Vax 2 goes into after
Okay,
we
Vex
reopen.
documentary. I think I found
Uh-huh.
it.
Okay. Is it allowing you to open any trailer?
Hold on one sec.
So the Vax 2 one talks about the hospital protocol that was enacted, installed by Fauci, and it's heartbreaking when you find
Okay,
out what they
there
did.
we go. I think I found the documentary for it.
Okay, let's take a look.
So now you got my curiosity. I might have to watch it.
It'll break your heart. I'm telling you. Absolutely.
My phone rings, and it's Dr. William Thompson.
You and I don't know each other very well. You have a son with autism, and I have great shame now.
There's a whistleblower from the CDC who's going to come out and say that the CDC had committed fraud on the MMR study and that they knew that vaccines were actually causing autism.
My oldest son, Ian, was walking and running. After the vaccine, he was no longer able to do that.
So I called the clinic and I said, I think my child's had adverse reaction to those shots.
And then came the head bang, the constant banging against anything that he could find.
Right now, I'm sitting in a very pretty position in terms of providing you a lot of information.
The first thing that Thompson did was to plot a graph. Now, if there's no link between early MMR and autism, those two lines should track together. Now, they do track together until they get to 15 months. Then they separate, and they continue to separate thereafter. And they sliced and diced the data in an effort to get rid of that effect.
The relative risk of receiving an autism diagnosis was astronomical.
Wow. The CDC had known all along there was this MMR autism risk.
In CDC's judgment, the best public policy is to continue vaccination unchanged.
You who run our health agencies in this country, you have an obligation to make sure that these studies are complete, thorough, so that we have all the facts.
Oh my God, I cannot believe we did what we did. But we did.
Omission of crucial data, destruction of documents, misleading the Congress, grievous harm to innocent children.
Everything I've been telling my patients for the last 10 years has been based on a lie and a cover-up.
Parents should be able to count on federal agencies to tell them the truth.
In 1978, the prevalence of autism was about 1 in 15,000 children.
If we assume that things are going to continue as they have, we can predict that by 2032, 80% of the boys born will end up on the autism spectrum. Half the children, 80% of the boys.
It's a vast number of children who are being diagnosed with autism every day.
This is going to be a complete catastrophe if we just let it happen.
Well, I'm going to have to watch it.
So that goes into the one for the children primarily. And then there's going to be a Vax 2 that talks about the COVID protocols and the hospital protocols.
Right. And then you said there's a Vax 2, right?
Yes.
Are we on?
Vax 2 or 3, I can't recall. So I've watched these through something, through the Kansas Health Freedom Alliance. And yeah, so there's.
Well, on YouTube, it's only showing Vaxxed.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing Vax 2.
So we might have to locate Vax 2 through another means. I'll take a look and see if I can get it sent to me and get that shared, because it goes into the protocol that they did when prescribing remdesivir and the ventilators.
And then here's one from CNN here. that's got my curiosity. I'm just going to play it real quick. Says a man deliberately got 217 COVID shots. Here's what happened.
A German man has puzzled scientists after he deliberately got more than 200 COVID-19 vaccinations. 217 to be exact, over 2.5 years. That's a shot every 4 days, roughly. CNN health reporter Meg Terrell is here to explain more. Meg, this guy sort of became a voluntary science experiment.
Yeah, Boris, they call this guy a hyper-vaccinated individual, and researchers sort of found out about him through media reports as he was already more than 200 shots into this self-experiment he was doing, and they asked if they could study him. He was actually being investigated by the authorities in Germany for potential fraud. They suspected maybe he was trying to sell vaccination cards, but no charges were ever filed against him there. Now, this guy is 62 years old. As you said, 217 COVID-19 vaccinations within the span of 29 months. If you look at the pattern of some of these, and we've got a bar chart here that shows the dates of some of these shots, and these are not even all of them, but if you just look in this 1 year span, he was getting maybe 1 or 2 per month as the beginning of the year was happening. As he gets into January of 2022, he got 48 shots within that 1 month period. Most days of that month, he was getting 2 shots per day, 1 in each arm. He continued with a large number of shots in February, then dropped down to just 6 in March. Of course, scientists are wondering what the effect was on him. First of all, he didn't report any vaccine-related side effects at all, which is sort of crazy to think about when you think about how you feel about getting a COVID shot the next day. Secondly,
so you know what I call that? I call that left-wing bullshit.
Propaganda.
I think that's their way of trying to tell people, see, COVID shots are perfectly safe. This guy
They're
got
safe.
217 shots.
Yeah, they're
That
safe.
bullshit. You
Yeah.
know, so I've got friends that are VA doctors. They actually ended up getting the COVID vaccine because they were threatening their job,
Yep.
and next thing you know, they've got heart failure, everything in the book, and
Yep.
and after speaking to them, it's not just one person in the VA. This is a multiple amount of doctors, even over in the Spokane, Washington area, where
Yep.
multiple ended up having heart failure after doing the COVID shot.
Yeah.
So that's why I call that CNN propaganda bullshit.
Well, and same thing happened with athletes. Same thing happened
Yeah.
with pilots. This is one of the reasons I'm not comfortable flying commercially right now. I feel
Look
like
at all these,
the
look
good
at all
ones
these, look at all
killed.
these young kids that developed heart problems now.
Oh
You know,
yeah. I
'cause
know
they
I
got
know families that they cannot allow their children to run because their child now has a heart condition. It is so sad. It is so sad.
so what they should have renamed it instead of the COVID, they should have named it population control. Yeah.
Well, it stands for, it's an acronym for Certificate of Vaccination ID. That's what COVID stood for. I mean, they're telling us that they're gonna vaccinate us all. I'm like, wow.
Oh boy, I got a feeling YouTube's probably going to give me a strike today.
I hope not. I hope
Well,
not.
I don't know how they possibly
Because
can do
it's
that.
everywhere. It's everywhere. It's on the CDC website. The information that we're discussing is currently on the CDC website and Department of Health and Services.
Oh,
So
that's been proven the
it's
shot's
there.
not safe.
What's that?
I said it's been proven the shot is unsafe.
Right.
So
Right.
they want to try to spank me for it. Oh well, they
Right.
have to get over it. But no, it's just so that yeah, I'm going to watch that movie later. I want to check it out.
Yeah. I'll look for the other one that showed the other protocols. It was so sad. It's gonna talk about getting your blood boiling.
Oh, I
That'll
bet.
do it too.
Yeah. And just like there was some trying to think. I think it was Oregon. There was a whole entire nursing home where every last patient died after getting the COVID shot,
I heard that too.
and it was just like unbelievable.
Yep. I heard that too.
And that's why I said talk about population control.
Yep. Well, and they went after the senior citizens.
Well, yeah,
They,
I don't think they planned on it hurting the younger people as much as it did. I think they thought it would mainly affect the elders.
hmm
Then come to find out, they were losing thousands and thousands of younger people as well.
Yeah,
And thank God I was not stupid enough to go out and get a shot.
same.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Jesus.
I know, right? I
Yeah.
woke up. I woke up. I apparently were like only in the 13th percentile of folks that didn't get any. So,
Well,
yay.
yeah, you know what I actually did intentionally, Julie? And I know it's nuts, but I'm just going to say it. I went out and intentionally exposed myself to be around people with COVID.
Really?
And I've always have had a hell of an immune system,
Right?
and I can honestly say I don't believe I ever had COVID ever.
Wow.
I was actually with my best friend Jeff McCabe on the COVID floor when he died out in Salem, Oregon,
Wow.
and they had him on the COVID floor.
hmm
You know, I mean, God rest his soul.
And they allowed you in there?
And they actually allowed me in there.
That's a surprise.
And oh, believe me, if it wasn't for his wife, who was a state police out there, Oregon State Police, I probably would have never got in to see him.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
But
sure.
they said I was family,
Yeah.
and
Okay. Good.
surprisingly, they allowed me to come in.
Good. Good.
And it was just But again, it's like, and he didn't even have COVID when he was. They put him on the hood. Explain that. Supposedly,
Well, I'm telling you, you watch Vax 2 and you'll learn what they did. And it's going to break your heart again.
so, anyways, they stuck him up on the COVID floor, and I walked in. He was basically in a coma, and they
Yeah.
said he's not going to be coherent, not going to hear you or anything. And at the time, I was living in Idaho, and I just had this gut feeling I needed to go see my friend. And thank God I did because he
Yeah.
passed not long after I seen him.
Wow.
But so I get out there to Salem, and there he was on the COVID floor. I walk in, and his eyes out of the blue just open wide open. And he goes, "John, what are you doing here?" And I said, "What are you doing here, Jeff?" I said, "Come on, we got to get you better, get you home."
Yeah.
That
Dang.
I knew he was not going home.
Yeah.
But it was good to see my best friend. But I was so angry that they had him on the COVID floor. I
Yeah.
mean, I was.
Yeah.
But at the same time, um, there's not much I could do. I mean, the last thing I needed was them to call hospital security to have me forced off the property. So
Right.
I went ahead and just
And they would have done that. Yeah, they would have done
that's
that.
so I
Yep.
played along so I could have a good visit with them.
I get it. Yep. I know. We did what we had to do to see the people that we loved. Yep.
But it
Yep.
was funny because they all told me, well, he's basically like in a coma. He's not going to be coherent.
Yeah.
And there he was, just eyes popped up. It's like he sensed I was there.
Absolutely, he did.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Yep.
And by God, I actually got to talk to him. So,
Good.
but that point to it is, when you see what they were doing with patients that didn't even have COVID, would give a hospital the right to put them on a freaking COVID floor? You know, it,
Because they got money for it. That's why.
yeah,
There was a kickback of a certain amount of monies that they would get, not only for a positive diagnosis of CV, but also if the person wound up dying, they would put on their death certificate, even if the person, this has been found true, even if the person died from cancer or a
yeah.
motorcycle wreck or something else, they were putting COVID on the death certificate because they were receiving funds. So there we
Well,
go.
my wife died on Veterans Day 2019, and you got to keep in mind that was about a month or two right before the COVID pandemic
Right,
came across.
right.
And I later got a call from the hospital where they said, "Well, we think she died of COVID." So they were trying to put it on the records like maybe she
Yep.
died of COVID,
Yep, 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 yep.
which we
I
already,
know. There were
which
a
I
lot
already
of
knew.
people that were fighting the
Yeah.
hospital administrations for putting what they did on the death certificates of their loved
Right.
ones. Yep.
But I already knew what it was from. The she had congestive heart failure, the whole 9 yards,
Hmm.
and it was all even on the death certificate that way. So it's like, how do you go from congestive heart failure to saying, oh, she died from COVID?
Yeah. They're about $13,000.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
that's what they're after was another payday.
Yeah.
And I
Exactly.
think that's what they would have gotten as well. So,
Yep.
but
It's
we
it,
did,
it's horrible what they've done.
yeah. But I didn't play along with their game, so it didn't work out for them.
Yeah.
Um, and top it up, I probably should have sued the shit out of them because their defibrillator machine of all things that day was out of order, and so
What?
her heart had stopped like 6 times on the hospital
Um.
ER, right there in the ER. They were trying to get me to actually leave the room, and I said, "The hell if I'm leaving the room.
No.
I'm going to be right here with her."
Right.
And so I was there, right there to her last breath, and
Hmm. That's
but there,
good.
but it was on the Mercy. I think it's a Good Samaritan Hospital over in Lincoln City, Oregon, is where she
Hmm.
died at. And of all things, like I said, their defibrillator machine was out of order. The doctor was screaming out, "Where's my backup defibrillator machine?" And they go,
Wow.
"Man, we don't have one." So
Oh.
and so all they could do was chest compressions, and that was it. And man, if it bust
Wow.
every freaking chest cavity, ribs, and everything on her.
Shoot.
So those, so so I after that, I have had no needs to want to see a doctor.
No kidding. I
I
wouldn't
lost
either.
my I lost my trust in them,
Yep.
and so, anyways, I don't know how we got on the subject of my wife dying. But
Well,
anyways,
hospitals and crazy
yeah,
people
I'm
in
talking about
hospitals.
Jeff. That's right.
Yep. Yep.
And then for them to later come back acting like she might have died from COVID. It's like bullshit.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, she died. She died because of their neglect of having the proper equipment to even come close to saving her life.
Man.
So
That's so
that's what
sad.
cost.
I'm so
That's what
sorry.
cost my wife's life. Um,
Yeah.
say it
Wow.
like it is. But anyways, I'm going to get back to just a little bit of this right here from the House hearing for you guys.
Okay. Yeah. Just got a couple minutes
Well,
left.
hold on. Let's see if we can get right there. What the heck? Did I quit sharing? I did. Sorry about that.
Tourism industry. Can you imagine that? A fraud tourism industry. Here's how these schemes work. Criminals, fraudsters, set up fake businesses for nonprofit organizations.
You think?
The criminals then claim to provide services such as housing, food, and health care assistance. Then they bill Medicaid. And they bill them for services never provided.
No.
No.
They use the names of children and enroll them into the programs.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the children don't exist, sometimes the children exist, and they're signed up by parents who are getting paid fraudulently to let them use their children's names.
Not according to Minnesota.
In 2021, taxpayers paid $4.6 million for something called Minnesota's Integrated Community Support Medicaid Program. It's a mouthful. 2021, $4.6 million. Then the fraudsters hit. 3 years later, due to criminal fraud, spending for that program ballooned to more than $170 million. From $4 million to $170 million, that's 37 times as much in just 3 years.
What do you think?
Man.
Money completely stolen. As the governor and others in Minnesota, the Democrat elected officials look the other way. Taxpayers similarly
I'm
paid
going to
$21
correct them
million
on that
in
right there. I
2021 for something
disagree. I
called
don't think they were
Minnesota's
looking away.
Housing Stable.
I think they're getting paid off themselves. So I can't
Oh,
imagine.
completely. Well, how else do you explain it's not just through insider trading that these senators and congressional people have access to, but it's this that we're talking about, and is the fraud, the way that they're able to get paid under the table on a number of different things just for how they vote. And yeah, this is craziness. A lot of them guilty, big time.
Well, let's see some justice.
Yep.
Stabilization services. The first 6 months of last year, due to criminal fraud, Democrats looking the other way, taxpayers paid nearly 3 times that amount. A Medicaid program claiming to help Minnesota children with autism, $6 million in 2018. By 2023, due to criminal fraud, it went from $6 million to $192 million.
You think?
And daycare fraud is just one of these brazen schemes where the Democrats in Minnesota look the other way. Last month, an independent journalist visited 10 state-funded daycare sites in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Wow.
He found no children at the daycare centers. Middle of the day, not a...
Okay, I'm going to pause that. So we got a couple comments here. So Mike Grant confirmed that's the National Guard base out there that the ICE agents are going to start being at. So he got that confirmed. And
Right.
let's see, David Wade. What does can't quite see what that smiley face. What does what?
GLP-1
and COVID have in common? I don't know. What do they have in common?
I don't know. What do they have in common, David?
Yeah, GOP. Does that say GOP-1?
Yes, looks like it.
Okay. Let me see if I can add that. What does GLP-1? Looks like a L.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Yeah, good question. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
So if you can throw out your response for us, David, I'd like to have the answer to that if you have an answer. Now you got my curiosity.
Right.
So
Well, I found some interesting information that maybe we can go over tomorrow in regards to property taxes and how they have been a huge fraud against we the people as well. So,
well,
take a look at
considering
that.
it's supposed to be illegal, yeah, that's a
Mhm.
good thing to do.
Yeah. And it's gone up 100%. How many times over in the last 5 years?
Yep, and then it just keeps going up and up and up.
Yep. With
Hold on a
no
second.
rationale.
No, okay. All right. I'm trying to see if I got other questions on YouTube.
Mm.
Keep forgetting we're broadcasting to multiple channels. I forget to check. Um, anyways, yep. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that tomorrow, Julie. That's a good thing to
Yeah.
bring up and get that out there.
Cool.
And then if anybody gets any updates on the riding going on, we'd appreciate the inside tip. The other thing I seen that they're getting ready to do, I think it's going to be on the what is it? I think it's the 15th or 17th. They're doing a walkout.
Who's they?
Democrats.
Oh, a walkout from where? It's not
From
their
their job.
jobs. They don't
Everybody's going
work.
to walk out of their jobs at the same time. I think it's going to
Oh.
be for 2 p.m. Is what they're calling for everyone to do.
Sure.
So that came across as well. Let's see.
So does that mean they're not going to be showing up to protest because they get paid to do that?
Yeah, good question. What day is the Democrats doing the walkout? Um, nationwide walkout 2 hours ago. So right here, how
They're
much we
all
got?
gone.
So you know what? They ought to have a nationwide. We hire you right on the spot. Right
There
when
you
they
go.
walk out, they're fired. Hire
Yep,
somebody new.
yep, yep. There you go.
Quit tolerating this bullshit. Um, so I'm trying to see
That's funny.
inform. So it says inform everyone you know about the January 20th walkout.
Oh,
So
okay.
that is January 20th. So
January 20th.
so inform everyone you know about the January 20th walkout. We need direct action. The Free America walkout this 20th is a test strike. It needs to be done immediately. This is what the Democrats are calling for. Social media promotion is a start, but the brunt of our recruitment needs to come from our personal communities. People will be more likely to show up if someone they know is personally counting on them.
Meaning, translation, don't just show up because we're paying you, and please accept the people we're busing into your town for this event
Yep.
and make them look like your locals.
So it says text everyone in your contacts list about this and tell
Uh-huh.
them to do the same.
Whatever.
Start a chain reaction. This is the message I'll be sending. And then join the Free America walkout. So if you guys want to check it out, they're bullshit. It's here. Let me see if I can copy this. So I'm going to share a link to myself, and then I'll post it up here. Here it is. There it is.
Yeah, okay.
So this is the bullshit. You guys can check out this propaganda bullshit. So I think that ought to be a we hire now day as well.
Right,
And I just fire every one of the son of a bitches that want to walk
right.
out of their
So
job.
let the trash take itself out.
Oh, so there it is. Let's see. So this is their website bullshit that they're promoting.
Okay, I'm not seeing anything. Are you sharing
Yeah,
it?
it's coming right up. There we go.
Hmm.
So it says right there, Free America walkout. Um, 2 p.m. local time. Da da da.
Local time. Does that
Yeah,
just mean there at 2 p.m. everywhere across the
yep.
way?
Everywhere. And then it says host in action, find an action. So if you click on like find an action, I think it's going to tell you where in your area. I'll enter zip code. So let's see what it is for Arizona. 86409. See what's the closest to me. Um, so mine says, well, now this says, when I put in my zip code, it says January 13th. Oh, that's today at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Hmm.
Check that out. Can you see that?
No.
Oh, here. So when I put in my zip code,
Can scroll it down. I don't
yeah,
see
actually,
anything
you're
but
not
the
going to
top.
see it. You're not going to see it. I'm going to have to share a different screen
Okay.
because I opened up a different link. So let me go over to this other one. There it is. So this is what it shows me now. So when I put in January 13th for zip code 86409,
Hmm.
it says January 13th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And RSVP now. Well, you got to
I think you
sign
should.
up.
It's virtual. You can find out what's happening.
So that's a virtual event
Kingman.
tonight at
Yeah,
8
that's a
p.m. Eastern
virtual.
Time. But
Uh
it
huh.
says here, Kingman Free America Walkout. It will be
2 to
January
5.
20th. So
Yep.
that's going on at the Locomotive Park. So all those patriots out there ought to show up down there with our
Yeah.
Trump flags, American
Yep.
flags, and let's all get some whistles and blow it in their freaking ears. And
Right. Ooh,
we'll
that
all
was
libtard.
a pretty wild video.
Yep. And
Yeah.
we'll just start blowing our whistles off, saying libtards in the neighborhood, libtards. Just keep blasting our whistles. Give them a little taste of what they're giving our ICE agents.
Right.
You know what, Julie? I like that. I like this idea. I think we might be onto something.
There we go.
I'm serious. So hey guys, when these guys are going to do this event, I think all across the country, you guys can order them right off of, I think it's on Amazon. They're like a couple bucks for a freaking whistle. Order yourselves a whistle or go down to the dollar store. They might even have one. And buy them. And then all ship to these events across the country that they're doing. But let's have our Trump flags and everything and start blowing our whistles right in their fucking ears and screaming out, uh, ice squealers, and everything in the book about them, and just keep blasting your whistle in their freaking ear.
Right.
Give them a
Right.
little taste of what they've been putting our ICE agents through.
Yeah, it's horrific.
You know what? I think that would be freaking funny as shit. So if you're still watching Mike Grant, get that organized for California too,
There we
buddy.
go. There we
I know you'd
go.
be on top of it, and I think we ought to do this. And we'll, so let's see, what do we got? 7 days, 7 days to
week.
the 20th. Yeah,
Got a
that gives
week.
us 7 days to organize it, guys. Let's
Oh
let's get
yeah.
what let's get whistleblowers all over the country to pick up some whistles and show up at their damn event, the
There you
walkout
go.
event, and then we'll just start blasting our whistles in their ears.
They'll have some in the dollar stores right now for Mardi Gras and St.
There you
Patrick's
go.
Day.
There you go. So I'm all for it. I'm telling
There we go.
you. So, all right,
Cool.
guys, we'll be live again tomorrow, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 9 Pacific. We're going to discuss about uh, your property taxes and how they're illegal.
Right.
And hope you guys can tune in for our broadcast tomorrow. And other than that, God bless you guys. God bless our Border Patrol and ICE agents out there.
Absolutely.
And for all you guys that are podcasters out there, be safe. Make sure you got a security team in place because you call 911 right now. Law enforcement is not showing up.
Yeah, you're on your own.
You're on your own. So I definitely make sure you have a means of protection with you.
Yes.
Because
Take precautions.
you just don't know how far these Democrats are willing to go. So
Head on a swivel.
Just be prepared. So
Yep.
all right, guys. God bless. We'll see you guys again tomorrow morning.
Have a wonderful day.